The doors of the Council Culture Academy are now open, and I am delighted to share this project with you. Now, as you know, if you know me at all, I absolutely love in-person teaching. I love it because it breaks barriers with humour, and you can really be in a room where breakthrough experiences take place and light bulb moments happen. Online teaching is multimedia. It means that you can download worksheets, keep copies of things, and have things available to you when you need them. It's also courses that you can do in your own time. Now, even though I love in-person training, sometimes it's a little bit hard to get the people that you want to come to the training to attend. By backing up online training with in-person training, you can do a little bit of a mix of both. It might be that you do an online course that leads into the in-person training, and that might be that after the online course, it's a little webinar that we do, or I come into the council. That might be one way of doing it. It's about creating safety so that people feel that they can do something either online or in person in their own time if they can't make the in-person training. So that was the idea behind it. It's to support the in-person training, but it also stands on its own. And there's a couple of ways and you can do it. You can buy individual seats if it's for you. So if you wanted to do some AI training, you can buy that seat for yourself and do the AI training. And the AI training is a living course, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. It might be that you sit with the whole council in your rooms, watching this on a big screen and have a chat afterwards and figure things out. And that might really work for your strategy. So that would be the strategy course that you would do that with, or you could even do that with the civility and respect course. You could do that as you're making a decision to sign the civility and respect pledge, or just after you've signed it. So there's lots of options, and what I'm creating is a media library of courses that you can do in your own time. They have downloadable worksheets, videos, things that you can print out and put on your screen so that you've always got them to hand. And you have the availability of this course for an entire year. So let me show you around. There's your homepage. I know I sound like I've just delivered a baby, but it really does feel like that. This has been a real work in progress, and I'm really proud of it. These are the courses that are currently live. AI in council work, essential skills for effective use. Now, this course is rather special because within this course, and I'll show you, let's go in. So this course is special because within this course, it's a living course. So what does that mean, a living course? Well, that means that as AI changes and develops, I keep updating the course. So it might be that something I've said in the course is now out of date. So I go in and fix it. It might be that I discover something that would be absolutely perfect for councils. So I go in and add it. So you don't have to look for things online. You can find it all here. So if it exists in AI and it's useful for councils, I'm going to be storing it in this place for you to be able to have access to. You might see 60% discount for purchases of 10 seats. I am a great believer in whole council education. So this course is particularly good for the fact that you can create GPTs. So you might be wondering what a GPT is. Here's a curriculum. A GPT is a generated pre-trained transformer, and it acts as an assistant. And this is module 4. So if you're a complete beginner to AI, you can start at the beginning and work your way through. But if you've done loads of stuff with it already, you can jump straight into module 4, or you could jump straight into better prompts and some advanced prompting techniques. So creating a custom GPT is incredible because you can be asked, let me give you an example of this. The example is, there's a swing that's missing in a play area, and a member of the public is really annoyed about it. And so what they've done is they've talked to a local councillor, and their councillor has contacted the clerk and said, we need to find out when this swing is going to be replaced. The clerk may then contact the grounds manager, and the grounds manager, who has probably already created a report about this somewhere along the line, can say, okay, well, the contractor is coming in at this point, it's on order, it's probably going to be done by the end of April. The same member of the public also phoned the council and spoke to Julie. And Julie said, no problem, I'll get back to you, I'll call the grounds person. So the grounds manager got called again. This is 2 phone calls to the grounds manager, thus interrupting the grounds manager's job. Now, if the councillor had access to, on their phone, the GPT, that they can just press a button, talk to AI, ask the question, and AI answers it, or they can go in and type the question into the GPT and the AI answers it right in front of the member of the public as they're being asked. Julie picks up the phone and, as the question's being asked, types it into the computer and up comes the response. All that had to happen was that the grounds manager put the report that was already written into the back end of a GPT. Oh my goodness. It just is such a game changer. So this is why I create huge amounts of discounts for people to set up, I thought that was funny, as to set up a whole training. So for example, if we go enroll now, there's 6 lessons in this course. If you buy one seat, it's £120. If we do something exciting here and we type in 10, da da da, it knocks £720 off the bill, making it £410 for 10 people to be able to do this course. I've done that with every single course. Now, it might be that not so much for the AI training, but for other trainings, it might be that you're like, okay, well, we want you to come in person, but we want to do the online course first. Or 6 months down the line, we want to do the online course as a refresher. We can sort things out with coupon codes and all sorts of things. So if you've hired me in one regard, it might not even be that you end up paying £480. We can talk about it. The online courses are about assisting you to be able to have a better experience for your councils. So that's the AI course. You can tell I'm quite excited. This one over here, Council Strategy Blueprint. Now, this course is for all councils that want to create a strategy, but want to make sure that that strategy corresponds with their community engagement. So it's a tool for building community as well as a tool for steering the ship in the same direction so that all the councillors are on the same page. We know where we're going. We're not suddenly kind of bottlenecking all of our good ideas that are coming out of committee meetings, but we're spreading them out over time. So there isn't a sudden budget flux where we're suddenly asking more money from the precept, that it's actually spread out over a period of time. And you haven't got burnt out staff members who have got too many things in their inbox all at once. So strategies are incredibly important, not just for framework and understanding what we're all doing, but for providing of the love hormone, oxytocin. Because as we achieve our strategic goals, we don't scrub them off, they just change colour. And when we can see the effect that we've had, and we're telling that to the community, you said this and we've done that, we're building trust within the community, but also work satisfaction, which I'm a big fan of. Probably why I created all of these courses. So that's me telling you about it. I love these AI little pictures I made. And there's your curriculum. Now, as this is a blueprint, you have to start at the beginning. AI course, you could start anywhere. With this one, you have to start at the beginning and work your way through. It's a step-by-step approach. I would love it if you did this with the whole council. So in a boardroom, me on a big screen, video after video, worksheets, understanding how it works. You've got templates and programs and all sorts of things in here, including like a funnel where you're able to take a really good idea and sieve it through a list of questions to actually work out where you want to place it within your strategy. Pretty exciting. Same situation, which is the enrolment. I know that education is power, and if you give power to everybody, it kind of equals things out. So that's why I've created a ridiculous discount. Okay, civility and respect. Here's the big one. This is the one that started me wanting to create online courses. A number of different reasons. Get the grounding, get the framework, get the code of conduct, get the councillor officer protocol, put it into an online course so it makes sense. It overcomes some of the difficulty around, we've booked you for training, but now this councillor won't come. By buying a bunch of seats, you're able to say, look, you can do this in your own time. There is a huge sacrifice in coming for training. You know, someone might have been at work all day, they've got training in the evening. It's tricky to get people all around the same table. Now, with this course is perfect if you're about to sign the Civility and Respect Pledge or you've already signed it. It's psychology. It's creating emotional safety. It's looking at your nervous systems. It's all of that kind of stuff. It doesn't take the place for real difficulties. If your council has started to look at calling monitoring officers, you need me to come in and do in-person training. That's when you would need a council culture reset. And I'm happy to come in and do one of those. But in some ways, what this course does do is it opens the door. One of the things I keep hearing is that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. It's adding a little bit of flavour into the water and making it just that little bit sweeter to be able to perhaps book that in-person opportunity. And it's also something you can do as a team, or again, you can do it individually. So this was the big reason why I decided to set up the school, was because when councils get into difficulties, sometimes you just need to be able to all be speaking the same language. And I created a really powerful framework for this. That's a little bit about the school and why I've created it. These are standalone courses. You can do them as an individual, you can do them in a group dynamic, you can do them as a 6 months review of training if you've had me come in. You can do this as a precursor for training too. All the training comes under different pillars. So, council culture pillar, that's strengthening internal dynamics, psychological safety, and professional conduct. So, that's where your strategy would sit, that's where the civility and respect would sit. So, anything to do with internal dynamics, that's where you're going to find it. Communication and community engagement. That's building trust, clarity, meaningful connection with your residents. So if you've got a communications officer or a brand new communications officer, you could take them through this training and even bulk buy at a cheaper price some of these courses that are going to come up. So anyone who is doing your external comms, these are the courses. Personal development. This might be that you wonder if you're heading towards burnout, and we're going to create a course on burnout. This might be about leadership. How can we make great leaders? This might be public speaking, you know. So that's a personal development tool. So anything that's going to build your confidence, resilience, and emotional, intelligent leadership, you're going to find that in there. And then skills and talent growth. So enhancing practical abilities, that might be the use of AI, Canva, and training for council communication officers on practical tools and skills that you need from things that are out there. That one is there because it's a little bit of an odd one, because it doesn't come under my normal framework. My framework is all about personal, emotional, it's coaching, it's counselling, it's human dynamics, it's what makes us tick. And I always aim with my training that it's things that will make you look at yourself and learn something about yourself, maybe learn something about your friends or your family. It's not just training for inside of council life. So the skills and talent growth to me are all the skills and all the practical things that you can use technology wise for doing the job faster. It's so that you've got the time to get to the nice stuff that I really care about, which is the community engagement. So as a counsellor with an S, not a C, I can tell you that if I could do the best job ever as a counsellor, if my client leaves my counselling and goes out into the world and doesn't have a warm community or friends or close by family, they're probably going to come right back through the door again, because counselling and therapy isn't so much about the skills and the talent that the therapist has. It's about the relationship of trust that is built between the therapist and the client. Now, I'm not exactly calling counsellors with an S. However, I know that if a community feels cared for, seen, supported, then that does an awful lot for social well-being. That when we start to feel that we're abandoned, that we're unseen and unheard, that affects mental and emotional health. We are in a unique position as town, parish and community councils to really be able to support our local community's well-being. And in a way, that would take down the waiting list for the NHS. I know that that might sound a little bit grandiose, and maybe you don't follow me on this, but if you ever do any training in anything to do with mental health, you know that when a community feels connected, it feels well. And we are in such a great position, but only if we are in a good position ourselves. that the internal workings of the council has to work well enough for our viewpoint to be external and not internal. When it's completely internal, we've lost the purpose of what it is to be a council. That's why I've created this online school, to give accessibility to as many people as possible, as many councils as possible, so that you are taking care of your own well-being, so that you can be the best you can possibly be to advocate for the well-being of your community. No pressure. So thank you so much for having a look at the courses. Please do tell me, what would you like to see? What courses would you like to see me develop? What do you think of this? Do you think it's a really good idea? When you're creating something, you're kind of doing it in a vacuum, and having opened the doors, I could really do with your response. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.